Right. Okay, that was a test. But here we go. Belgian Grand Prix. Okie dokie, okie dokie. Tyre, we've got that Delta, there we go. Right, so there we go. Who's on track first? I believe one of the kick salvers is Calvin. Let's go to Calvin. Rainy Spa. That's all I can say. The least rainy Spa. So what we got here is the Belgian Grand Prix. Because Calvin. It should be in a party, really. There we go. So, oh dear, we got a spinner. Martins has spun. Oh dear. What a shame for him. Calvin down towards Eau Rouge. One of the fastest parts of the circuit. Actually had to lift there, actually, the big Calvin. Going towards the, I think it's called the Keble Straight thing. Yeah, it is. So, why is it on a dry tyre on a wet track, which is a bit strange? Maybe he has some grip. I don't know. Because Calvin then into the fastest part of the circuit. Had to lift, put it around 2 gears, I think he did, yeah. It's pretty difficult to actually handle the car around here on the track. Look at him, just locked it up actually on the brakes. Now towards the final 2 corners of Stavelot. Maybe there's intermediate conditions, I don't know. Now in towards the final couple of corners now. Still along the steer through there, probably on the wet track. Into the final 2 corners now. There's the first one and the second one after the bus stop chicane. Shoulders run to the line and let's go 1:55.8. So I want to have a look at Dan here because I'm pretty intrigued how he's going to do in the Alpine. 55.3 there for Mansell. 55.2 there for Man G. Tyres all coming down. But here goes Andy Dan on the intermediate tyre. It should be significantly quicker, and it is. 53.1. Inter is the fastest tyre to go at the moment. Here comes Zenon. So look how Keith is doing. Looks like he's just struggling for grip out there at the moment. car just swaying about and underneath him. Now Keith's now getting the hammer down now towards the final few corners. Burmeister's come through into second. Here comes Keith into the final couple of corners. Trying to squeeze the throttle of the car, just literally all nothing but no grip underneath the car underneath him. Yarim is going to third, while Keith is into 7th place at the moment. And that's his teammate right behind him. That is Kusa, who's currently on an outlap at the moment. No, that was Aiden that went past Keith and the other McLaren. Let's see how Aiden does in the first sector. 33-2. Into the next left-hander. Aiden's now towards the fastest part of the circuit, which is into 2-1. Lovely work through here. You've got so much ERS deployment to play with. Dan's certainly got the fastest time at the moment, over 1:53.1. Aiden's now towards the final couple of corners here of Rivage. Quite no, Rivage is that long right-hander, isn't it? It is, yeah. Silly me. I do forget my corner's name sometimes. Very, very squirrely there for Maynard there, but looks like it's a very committed lap. In the other McLaren. Into the fast section now. Very brave through there. Here comes Aiden's now into the final couple of corners. Aiden's now towards the line, and it's going to be a 1:54. It's going to be a 1:54.0. Good time there. Very, very good time there from Adams. Mad G doing extremely well. It's already 2:10 up on his time. Of course, the teammate 2, Energy Dan, is currently in 6th at the moment. Sonic Hawk is currently out on the lap as well, so look at him. As he does go through Rivage in towards No Name. Of course, you probably noticed the fact that the track has changed. They have updated the circuit. In towards the final part of the sector now. As Sonic Court now approaches the end of sector 2. He's going on the softs as well, so he's thinking the rain is going to hold off. It's actually slowing down, actually, to be fair. So it looks like to me the dry tyre is going to work out for him. Edgy down to 1:51.7. So Dan improves his time. What can Sonic Hawk do? Sonic Hawk. There goes Dan's time. Out comes Sonic Hawk out of the bus stop chicane, and Sonic Hawk is going to put in a 1:59.2. Quite slow there for Sonic Hawk, but he looks like he's going to pick up very soon. Zenon is invalidated his lap. Martin is on the intermediate. But it looks like he's been on the intermediate a bit too late, I think, because the rain has stopped. So right now, it's the advantage to the drivers on the softs. Proves my point there with Aiden's there going up into pole. Let's have a look at any drivers on the lap. Let's have a look at Ronnie, that's invalidated. So we're going to look at some other drivers coming through. That was Keith going up into 2nd place. Let's have a look at Mansell's on an outlap. Let's have a look at Alice Scoppo. He's winding up for his lap actually. There he goes, flying away now. Is that the Scoppo? I want to see how that actually compares to this 154.5 he set earlier. It's coming towards Eau Rouge now. Flat out. Left, right, and to the left. Now towards Radion, and now onto the Camel Straight now. Pushing to this, going up slightly uphill here for Alescopo. He's already 1.1 seconds faster. Not doing too badly there. This is drifting the car through that point of the circuit. Nice and tight through there. Hugging the apex as he's trying to go through the corner. Trying to carry as much speed as he can. Oh, the track's so greasy. What a save there, actually, there. About the Scopo. So look at Mansell. He's about to go up to the same part of the circuit. He's got a lot more slower. No thanks. Mansell now 1.0 seconds quicker. Third wide at Pouan, but looks like he's coping okay. Mansell now going towards the final part of the circuit now. In towards the bus stop chicane. Mansell interested in not using any of his airs, so it looks like he's wanting up for another run. Nope, he's coming into the pits. So look at the Ferraris are doing. Because Zenon in the Ferrari hard on the brakes, aggressively taking the curbs. He can do that here in Spa. Here comes Zenon now towards the line. It's going to be a 146.0, goes up into the pole position. Really good work there from Zenon there. The track is starting to grip. And Burmeister shows that 135.9. So really good there for Burmeister. Calvin is now popped up into the pole. So the track is starting to grip in. As the rubber is being laid down onto the circuit, provides the driver even more grip. Because OWI Emil's now towards the final couple of corners. The pole time has just gone now. So because Emil's now into P4, joining his teammate up into the top 5. How's Cluster going on? Here goes Cluster towards the lineup himself. And he goes into pole with a 144.9, so not doing too bad there from him. Cassidy gets a great soda from his teammates of Calvin, so the Sauber drivers are really working hard together. How's MDJ doing? MDJ is coming towards the final part of the circuit. Through this very fast left-hander, staying very close to the apex. MDJ now going hard on the brakes. And he's going to the pits as well, so he's going for one more run. So look at the Scotsman of Cassidy. Going through a very fast left, right and left. Look at how aggressive he's turning the car, turning up his face. Really pushing the car to its limit. 14.8 at the moment. Cassidy really trying to give this Sauber everything he can. He's giving the airs a bit of work for his money. 131 is just gone. Here comes Cassidy with the bus stop. Looks like a strong lap. Very aggressive sword at the steering wheel. So here we go now towards the line. It's going to be very quick. It's going to be pole with a 43.2. The Sauber goes up into the pole position. Here comes Ronnie in the Mercedes. Ronnie coming down in P16 as other drivers now come across the line to start their laps. Because running out towards the line, 144.5. Really good there from Ronnie. Mansell will need to get a little bit of a move on here if he wants to get a good strong start to this race. Alistair Danmeister coming on in the final sector. Dan pushing hard towards the final few corners of Spa, the longest track on the calendar. Through the Ardennes forest. Here comes Dan now onto the final couple of corners. His coach off the line now. It's going to be close for pole. It's a 43.8 there from Dan. So Dan joins them in the 43s. Mansell starts his flying lap, his last run. It looks of things. So can Mansell get up there with the top guys up at the front? Mansell brakes hard. He's 2.2 quicker than his previous times. He was on a personal best. With his second centre, constant flowing corners. Nicely went there from Mansell, hugging the apex there, into the final, into this corner. Takes that corner in fourth. Mansell better for that corner than he was in the previous. Mansell out towards the final few corners now. There's currently Cassidy from Aiden, from Zenon, from both Alpines and Dan and Manji. That's kind of the top five at the moment. Can Mansell join them, I wonder? Mansell really pushing hard in the Alpine. He could probably use more reserves if he wants to. 133 has just gone past. Here comes Mansell. This looks pretty strong for him. Now into the final couple of corners. 143 is looming. There it is. It's a 144. It goes up into P6. Keith splits both of the Alpines along with Mansell. Where's Calvin? Let's have a look where he is at the moment. He's currently on an out lap. He will get a lap in just. Burmeister starts his flying lap. Mad G currently a second slower. Has Dan got time, I wonder? Which he does. Zenon looks like he's backed off. So right now, Dan now is currently on a flying lap. Keiths is currently on a flying lap. They're all chasing down Cassidy. So have a look at Keiths. 1.3 seconds slow for the looks of things. Let's have a look at Dan's. And the moment it's just a purple first sector. Dan loving the circuit at the moment. I have seen his time trial times actually, and he looks extremely quick. So I've seen him there with the P3 on my seeing things. Probably I've seen things. I've witnessed that before. Any bit change going up towards the leaderboard. Not at the moment. This moment in time. Dan a little bit shaky. They go through poo on. As he goes towards the final part of sector 2. He has got another car in the way, which is the Red Bull, which he kindly was out of the way. Dan now is 3/10 quicker than his previous times. It's on for a personal best. Sonic Hawk is up into P5 now, just noticed. Mansell is up into P7, behind Daniel. Which as we're going to watch him across the line. Burmeister goes up into P10 as Dan loses the rear end, and he'll go into the pits. So that's the end of top 10's qualifying run. Atlas Scopo about to cross the line. P9 for Atlas Scopo. We're going towards Emil. Because Emil's now towards the line. It's going to be a 145. And it's going to be 145.3. Yaram, 143.9. So Yaram goes up into P7 ahead of Mansell. That's the qualifying done here in Belgium. Cassidy takes pole along ahead of Martin. Who goes to 2 Scotsmen up in the top 2 positions. So here we go. Cassidy from Martin, from Aidens, from Zenon, from Sonic Hawk, from Dan, to Yaram, to Mansell, NJ to Atlas Scopo's the top 9. You got Keiths, Mad G, Burmeister, Ronnie, Clusser, Calvin's actually a bit of surprise down there in P16. Emil's in 17th, and NCFC in 18th. We got the two Scotsmen up at the front. I think it's 3 now. I think Aiden's the Scottish as well. So I think we got the Scotsmen 1, 2, 3, I think. As we prepare to get going, it's going to be a dry qualifying session for the race. So we're just going to wait for the drivers to get ready for this race coming up. Just waiting for the drivers to get ready now. Just waiting for Keiths to give the signal. No. You just had my fiance in the background because I'm now living with her for now and forever. Just a little thing I'd just like to point out. Excuse me. Here we go then, the drivers now. Get ready. Oh, I know Indigo. It's very cute, isn't it? Here we go, the drivers then. On the medium tyre is Cassidy from Martin from Aiden's. The Sonic to Dan and to Keiths. The soft tyre runners are Zenon, Mansell, Scoppo, Mad G, Ronnie, Clusser, Calvin, and Emil's. And the 4 people on the hard tyre is Yaram, MDJ, Burmeister, and MCSC. So the majority of the drivers have actually gone for the soft tyre compound, which is quite interesting to see. So how's it going to play out? I'm thinking it's going to be an aggressive turn 1, going into a possible very much a possible. We gotta go about one or two ways. It could either go, oh, and Cassidy gets a little bit out of shape there. But at this moment in time, I think it's going to be a clean turn one. But we'll see how Zenon does as well on the soft top compound tyre, because he could be a factor in this race if he can overtake the top three and really make an aggressive charge. Even Mansell's well, he needs to make a bit of a charge. Get past. He's an incredible start to get past the RM. So he can set himself kindly up for the race. As Cassidy lines up his car on pole position, angling his car towards Martin there, which is quite interesting. Martin's slightly doing the same thing, so they're both pointing at each other, so they want to have an aggressive start. As you can see, Yaram put his car into position along with MCSC, so the Haas cars are now lining up. And we go to the 5 red lights now of the Belgian Grand Prix. And we're underway here in Belgium as Cassidy gets a really good start there, taking Martin on for a good start there. As Martin trying to take back Aiden's for the lead. So we got 2 cars off already. That's Ahmad G going off into the gravel along with Klusser. As Sonic Hawk at the moment trying to close down on Cena. They go side by side actually is Zenon and Aiden's. Zenon of course on that compounded tyre, trying to take down Aiden's, but Aiden's not having none of it. It's actually want to get past Martin in the catch-up RP as Martin goes takes the off-track excursion. As now we're going into hopefully the cars can settle down now. It's Calvin trying to make progress already for the back of the grid. Going up into 13th place ahead of OWR Lonnie. Mansell didn't make any progress at the moment on the soft compound tyre, but he has gone past Yarim, which is pretty interesting on his soft compound tyre. Dina now harassing Aiden's now. He wants to get that overtake done on Aiden's. But Zenon in the Ferrari needs to figure out early games here. He doesn't want to push too hard on his compound tyre. As Sonic Hawk is giving him all sorts of pressure in the catch-up RB car. As Dan is going to play it safe. Looks like he's going to be playing it safe as well. I think all these drivers as well. That was Keith actually running a bit wide there on that corner. He probably might lose a place here to Calvin. Let's have a little look at that actually. Let's have a little look what's going to happen here between these two. As Calvin is lining up possibly for a move on Keith. He is, but it's going to back out. He's going to back out on Calvin as Cassidy sets the fast lap of the race, and that's Ronnie spinning round, probably losing it on the exit of the bus stop chicane. That's Mansell actually under pressure there for Yaram, as Mansell trying not to lose too much time there with Yaram, because Yaram is on the hard compounded tyre. And there's a gap beginning to form here between with Sonic Hawk there, as the DRS is now enabled, and that's Innes go down the inside of. Oh, look at that, a big fight. That's Mansell fighting away there in the background. There's a big 5-way scrap here for P5 here. And Mansell, he's been in a lot of incidents recently, for no fault of his own, to be fair. He really did well to hold on to the car there. He did fantastically well. Because that could have been a massive accident. So overtakes already started to make already, as the DRS is now enabled on that too. Keith is having all sorts of pressure to Calvin. Of course, Calvin shouldn't not be overtaken at this part of the circuit. As we're watching on from Mansell's car, trying to get past MDJ. As the Williams car is trying to make progress on the hard compound tyre. Let's have a look at the tyres again so we got a reminder. As you can see, MDJ on the hard compounded tyre. Trying to make any progress. Look at Martin trying to get close again to Aiden's, but he's giving all they're doing is giving Cassidy here a big gap. Right now, the gap is now 2.3. As those letterboxes on the back of the cars are reactivated again. Nick and Zena around the outside, making contact slowly there with Martin. So Zena really wants to make the progress as he can. There's a big train of cars forming here behind Adams as they head towards Eau Rouge. And now into the Kettle Street is where the overtakes will happen. Here comes Zenon. That's a great shot here. Zenon trying to overtake Martin. No can do there. Solid call now on Yarim. Nothing can do there either. Mansell, we're calling in a hard time sandwich between MDJ and Yarim. As Mansell really hard on the brakes there, but not going to be anywhere near the trouble at MDJ. He's just losing time here on the top compound tyre. Is Zenon. Zenon now on the... Of course, he's on the top compound tyre as well. Look at the gap between Adams and Cassidy, 2.1. So right now, Ennis doing his best to close down that gap to Cassidy. The Sauber driver, as you can see, there he is in the foreground, literally sprinting away. And as you can see, that's Yarim actually having a look at Mansell. Mansell, a little bit of the same there, is actually pressurizing the Williams of MDJ. Mansell thought about it. A little bit out of shape there, coming out of the exit of the bus stop. And Scopo and Sonic Horse losing places. He must have made a mistake as Martin actually overtakes Zena for third. Or actually he's defending third actually, because they're both going side by side now, going towards Eau Rouge. Surely not going to go side by side through there. They're not. Zena backs out of it. But here comes Zena. And look at Daniel. Look at Daniel. He's got the massive overspin on the both of them and overtakes the both of them. Shades of Mika Hakkinen back in 1999. And look at that to Zenon. Gets a little bit out of shape there. And Martin trying to capitalize it. Slows up the Williams of MDJ as Mansell's having another look around the outside, but no can do there. Fast action here at Belgium, of course. One of the classical race circuits. So, Dan with the overspeed, it's overtook his teammates and Zenon at the same time. Now he's got to pressurize Adams for second place and hopefully push on to try and catch down Cassidy, but Cassidy's already 2.3 ahead of this battle. Lovely camera shot. As the cars fly away, we've got side-by-side action. Here we see Martin and Zenon into the bus stop chicane they go. Side-by-side action for the both. Martin cuts off Zenon with a bump of the tyres. As this looks like this battle is going to go raging on towards the Kemmel Straight. Look at NTJ pushing Zenon. The Zenon, of course, doing all he can here. Cassidy gets a 3-second time penalty, actually. That's going to cost him in this race, unless everyone else gets penalties. We've got MDJ now pressurizing the Ferrari. Zenon, he looks like he went from attacking to defending. His MDJ on the hot compound tyre is now going to try to go to the inside, but Zenon defends well. Later on the brakes then MDJ, and he's got to settle for that place. So we've got a fight, more fighting on with Keith and Yarim. Yarim, of course, making his return here to the league last week. And he's doing a very good job showing his skills off here in SFR tonight. Look at this train of cars all the way from Burmeister down to Mad G. Mad G had a horrible lap one. And he's definitely showing it with this after a few mistakes in the field. costing him time, and he's stuck behind Calvin. He's not making progress all himself, actually. I thought he would make more progress, really, but no can do on that occasion. Let's have a look at Mansell closing in, trying to close his MTJ, but none to no avail. As the closest fight is actually Sonic Hawk trying to get past Keiths, side by side with the Division 2 champion. Closing in, trying to go around the outside. As Keith and Yara made contact in the bus stop, and that gives Sonic Hawk 2 free places in this race, pushing them back up to 10th. Instead, check back with Energy Dan towards the Camel Straight. Not a good day for Yarum. If these two could just be clean throughout the entire race, and Cassie stays there where he is at the moment, the race leader is looking right in front of you now. As Dan's got the DRS and the overtake mode on, trying to get past the McLaren, and both fighting away, both making contact in the chicane, and Dan forcefully gets his way through, and MDJ and Zenon are now fighting into towards Rivage. Look at these two going wheel to wheel towards No Name corner. It's going to be Zenon that leads the way, but a mistake as Zenon spins. Zenon has spun. That's unfortunate for him, so that gives Mansell and the other guys some free positions, as Zenon unfortunately makes an uncharacteristic error at the lower lane corner, slips the tyre into the gravel, and that's him spinning around all the way down to 15th place. It's such a shame because he was doing really, really well in a new Ferrari. Martin dipping the tyres into the gravel. And Martin closing in on Aidens, but none to no avail. Of course, Martin, he's got that 3-second time penalty as well. Let's have a look at the positions and the tyres. NDJ currently doing very, very well on the hard compound tyre. Dragging up Mansell along with him for good company. Sonic Hawk overtakes Calvin. Now, is Dan going to be in trouble? Because now he goes Aidens now with DRS. So he'll overtake Daniel here. Over he goes. Swings into second place. And Dan locks up for good measure. Zeno gets his 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as Keith and Calvin are fighting. That's Keith overtaking Calvin into 10th. Fast action here in Belgium. And Lascoppa's doing really well, holding up 7th at the moment. He's got Burmeister for company. We've got a yellow flag, and that is for the Ferrari of Zenon. His race is going from bad to worse in the gravel. So he loses all that progress down to 18th place. So Dan holding on to 3rd. If he can stick with Aidens, he'll never get another dose of DRS, but right now all his fights actually promotes MDJ a really good chance actually of harassing this lot. And look at that, a big dive down the inside from Martin on Daniel, and that's Martin 3rd. MDJ's got to follow the party. That's a huge dive there for Martin. It's a good job that Dan spot him. So Martin now, he's up into 3rd. 3.6 is between Aidens and Martin and Cassidy and Martins. Oh, sorry, Cassidy and Aidens. As MDJ now, he's looking for an attack. Oh, it dives to the right hand side. And look at Mansell as well. He's in there as well. Well, no, he's not really. But look at he's down was trying to overtake Martin, while MDJ was trying to overtake Daniel, but none to no avail. So these two will carry on their merry way through the Ardennes forest. Matt G is getting very close to Yarim. Looks like Yarim's overtook Matt G. And Matt G is going to sit behind the Haas driver for a good while. Let's have a look at there's Calvin. Calvin's getting on behind Keith. He goes a little bit squirrely there, but he's got Solid Court for company. And he's got Zenon, Emil's actually in front of him. So Calvin really struggling on that soft compound tyre. Starting to feel the effects of it. And as you can see, there's the McLaren, the Keith, there's the front of Emil's. There's the Ketchup RB trying to close in very, very slowly. Now it's looking down on the outside of Calvin, and Sonic Hawk with a fantastic overtake there on the Sauber. Really, really good work there from him. Let's have a look at the leaders. Daniel got a little bit shaky out of the source. Costa gets his 3-second time penalty as once again Cassidy is extending the gap over these lots who are fighting ferociously. And then DJ with the dose DRS now trying to overtake Dan, and he's going to get the move done as Martin overtakes Aiden. So overtakes are being made here with Martin into second and DJ up into fourth. Calvin is overtaken Sonic Hawk up into 10th position. There's still fight actually. Let's have a look at this. Oh, Calvin's actually made an... So Calvin and Sonic Hawk also, they both made contact there up at the top part of the circuit. And that's unfortunate for them. As you look at Mansell, he's just got a big bird's eye view of this circuit. Especially when we get to MTSC, he's closing in on Calvin into Pouon. He's not going to make an overtake there, surely. Of course, MTSC is a very feisty driver. So go down the inside here of Calvin, and that's an unforced error there. But NCFC, that was going to happen. You don't normally go down the inside down there unless you got trust in the other driver. Calvin didn't leave him room, and he just went straight to the side of him. Mansell then, he's just getting a bucket of popcorn here, and he's just sitting behind this lot. And there he goes, he is pitting, possibly for the hard compounded tyre. So Mansell will lose positions. Now he's pitting on this lap, along with Atlas Scopo. He's in there as well, so we expected Calvin to pit, which he is. So the soft tyre runners are in. Well, that's happening in the top, the second zone to fifth. Are all fighting away. As Aiden closes in on Martin. An overtake is complete there. No, not really, because Martin's still there. He goes off the circuit slightly, but he gets the position done there. Is Aiden's well worked there from him. Is Daniel having a little look there himself with NDJ swarming around. So Mansell's out to the medium compound tyres. He's got very aggressive there for Mansell. He needs to push hard now and see him close up to these guys once they make a stop. So you can actually get the overcut on these drivers ahead, especially those battling for that 5 second. The bonus thing for him is actually going to close it quite quickly, because these four are scrapping ferociously hard for second place, but all they're doing is just giving Cassidy Dreamland been in the lead, minding his own business. As these four guys fighting hard. NDJ. Much frustrated for him with that hard compound tyre, because he really wants to make that work, but here comes Martin now down towards the inside of Aiden's McLaren. Look at that big lunge there. Oh, and going into the pits there, but swiping NDJ's car. That's really unfortunate there for him. And look at that, Aiden squeezing Daniel. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Faulting him off the track. Daniel will not be very happy about that. Now he's got Burmeister right behind his car. Aiden's couldn't have stand a little bit more room, in my opinion, but here comes NDJ picking up the scraps where the guys have been fighting, and now NDJ will just make the simple overtake up into this lovely right-hander, MDJ, will now began the chase down to Cassidy. As Martin gets his 3-second time penalty and also been overtaken by Mansell as well. So Mansell makes an overtake there in the pit stop phase on that medium compounded tyre. MDJ having a little bit of a moment there at no name. Matt G gets a 3-second time penalty as well. And he's been overtaken by Atlas Scopo, who's just pitted actually. So he's going to push on towards Martin's RB. Been a good race so far. Here comes Burmeister. Burmeister trying to close in on these guys on the front, but not really picking up the pace really. As Keith's now up into, is currently safe at the moment, but he hasn't stopped yet, along with Sonic Hawk behind him, as you can see in the background. So the closest fight at the moment is these guys up in the 4, up at the front. We got a yellow flag. Who's that for? I wonder. That's the yellow flag around this area of the circuit, but can't really see anything down there. No one had stopped in the positions in the top 5. I suspect the hard tires to go a little bit longer than the medium top compounded tyre. As Dan is slowly being caught now by Burmeister. 2 tenths behind now. Burmeister could overtake the Alpine and make it a Williams. 2 and 4 here as Burmeister gets past Daniel. 2 and 4 for the Williams team. So Burmeister up into 4th place. 4.4 is the gap between Cassidy and MDJ. As you can see, Cassidy is just cruising, but look at that, Dan actually making a really good move there down the inside of the barge there. Really, really good stuff there from him. As MDJ trying to close the gap now, picking up the pace. He's actually building a gap now over Adams. That's what he needs to do so he can make the charge towards the leader. 4.0 is the gap between the top 2 at the front of the field. The gaps in the midfield are starting to spread out now. I do agree with you there, Laser. He is catching fast at the moment. 4.0 is the gap. It's going to go down to 3.9. So MDJ looks like he's about to break the DRS zone of Adams. Gearing that hard tyre, switched on for his money there. He's actually broken the 1 second window, and there's Cassidy in the foreground. Adams is pitting. Now Mansell is just about to come towards the bus stop chicane now, and along with Burmeister, very early there for the hard compound tyre. Yarn is pitted a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So Mansell gets another 2 positions up into 6th place now. Depends when those medium compound tyres will last to the end. That's the question. Look at MDJ, 3.7 now between him and Cassidy. So Cassidy looks like he's about to get a fight in his hands. After all, if MDJ would not make mistakes like that. We'll go down to the midfield where Burmeister is. He just stopped, but as you can see, he's closed in already. He came up behind at the Scopo in the Red Bull and ahead of Matt G in the Alpine. The guys yet to stop is the top 5, but Cassidy down to Sonic Hawk. Brilliant race so far. We've got a yellow flag. That is for Calvin, who's having a real bad day in the office at the moment. As these drivers now come towards first settling down for their races. I wonder how Aiden's going to do on soft compounded tyres. He only did a good a certain amount of laps. It's a good track for the soft tyres, so maybe he can extend them. Mansell is actually caught up to the back of Sonic Hawk's RB actually, so right now Mansell is on the charge. He's having a really good day in the opposite road. Cassidy and Dan Pitts from the lead is Cassidy. and Sonic all pit. So Mansell at the moment is going to go up into P2. And there you go. Owen Mansell up into P2. Actually, it might not be actually, because there's Cassidy. Cassidy stays ahead of Mansell, but Mansell has got a bullseye effect on Cassidy. Kind of more speed into El Rouge, and this could be an overtake here for second between these two guys as Mansell overtakes Cassidy Sauber, and up into second place he goes. Really good work there for Mansell. 4 laps in on his stint. And Aidens and Martin are now going to be back to duel. And Dan has come up behind his own teammate of Matt G. The Alpine team will be communicating. I don't want to be holding each other up at this stage of the race. Dan needs to make the progress here. As Yara retires from the race in the pits. When is Magic going to let Dan through? Very tense between the two drivers, and there is Cassidy on the soft compounds. MDJ has come into the pits for his soft compound tyres. 13 laps. Oh, and Cassidy a little late on the brakes there, but Mansell stand his ground. Really defiantly, to be fair. As Mansell now got to hold on for another lap, takes the lead of the race. And has Cassidy MDJ overtaken. It's overtaken MDJ. MDJ comes down up in 7th. MDJ loses time as Mansell's about to be overtaken from the lead of the race here by Cassidy Sauber. As Cassidy overtakes him. Now the gap is 2.6 between Adams and Martin. Martin has just been overtaken by Adams on the soft compound tyre. And Scoppo has overtaken Burmeister. So the Red Bull driving had a really good day. But if Mansell could just stick with that Sauber within 3 seconds, he will win the Grand Prix. And the 25 points that come with it. It's easy to send it down really because the gap is already now 1.0 already. The two winning drivers are now stuck together. But Martin, 8/10 behind Adams is McLaren. Can this happen? Well, close fight here between MDJ, Burmeister and Ella Scoppo. This is the battle for 5th. Ella Scoppo recently just overtaken one of the winning guys, but both winners are not happy about it and they want to overtake the Red Bull driver. So right now, as Keith overtakes Emil's into La Source, and there's the 3 drivers in the foreground of Scoppo, Meister and MDJ, as the both Williams drivers are looking to overtake the Red Bull, and they do successfully, very, very successfully. As look at that, MDJ want to get past Burmeister. 2 overtakes done there from MDJ. The second one looks like it's very calculated from the Williams pair, and now MDJ can now set the challenge to Martin, who's already been held up as it is from the McLaren of Adams. He's not making any sort of progress at the moment. 1.9 behind Mansell, who's always is losing time all the time here to Cassidy. 2.3 at the moment. And that gap is extending all the time. So it looks like Cassidy's got this in the bag unless he makes a mistake. So it could go Cassidy's way here if he doesn't make that a forceful error. But here comes Martin closing in slowly on Aiden's. But Aiden's is on the soft cut by the tyre, so really it shouldn't be much of a problem for Aiden. He should be getting away here from Martin. But Martin, it's not making any sort of ground at the moment. It's holding station at the moment. And sooner or later, Aiden will be closing in on Mansell very, very shortly. 1.3 seconds. You got a yellow flag out. Flags for, I think it's a Meals. I think, yes it is. I think it's a Meals. He was in a fight with Sonic Hawk and Clutter. And looks like that fight is now over. As you said, it all made one stop. Apart from Calvin, he's made a 2-stop in this race. Over at the penalties, as you can see, Martin has actually got 6 seconds worth of penalties, along with Cluster. The rest is on 3 seconds. So at this moment of time, Cassie is going to win the Grand Prix unless he gets another time penalty. It's 2.9 at the moment. So currently, now he goes out for 3-second barrier. So Mansell has lost the lead of the Grand Prix technically. And he's also probably going to lose second here because Aiden is on the charge very, very quickly. And also MDJ as well. He's actually close that to Martin. So this is a potentially a 4-way scrap for second and third between Mansell, Aiden, Martin, and MDJ. Well, technically Martin, but he calls he's got 6 seconds worth of penalties to his name. So it'll be very doubtful for Martin to actually hold on to this advantage. As it look at the moment, and you can probably see as well, Burmeister and Anna Scoppo is still there at the moment. So looking very interested to see how those two are playing out. They're probably waiting for something to happen, as MDJ is getting super close now to Martin's Williams and Aiden's in the DRS of the Aston Martin of Mansell, who's just trying to pull away at the moment. But there you go, here come the overtakes now. There's MDJ overtaking Martin, trying to take on the McLaren as well, and gets them both done. Another 2 overtakes there for MDJ. MDJ makes another double overtake, and now he's going to make ripping ends to Mansell's 0.8 of a second advantage. And then after that, he's going to try and close up to Cassidy. So Mansell will probably have to give way to MDJ and probably hold off against Aiden for third. But at this moment in time, it's looking very doubtful as NTFC retires into the pits. So that's both Haas drivers out of the Grand Prix. .3 gap between Mansell and Cassidy. Or it's at a 3.3 seconds between Cassidy and the fight between this 4-car scrap. And DJ closing slowly to Mansell's Aston Martin. Hard in the brakes now is MDJ. Look at the confidence he has in that car. And here he comes then. MDJ, he's going to wait it out until the Camel Straight. He's playing a very wise game here. He's very experienced, this MDJ. And he flies through Eau Rouge. And now the Camel Straight. This should be taking candy away from the baby. As he goes onto the outside, onto the racing line. Is Aiden's going to have a little look as well? No. He's going to wait it out. He's going to wait for a chance on Mansell. So Mansell drops down to third. So Mansell's still in the podium places, but not by much. It's between Mansell and Aiden. Martin's not in this fight really. He's got the 3-second time penalty to his name. But he can still squabble and make Then two are living misery themselves. So MDJ is going to close in. He's got a lap fresher on his tyres. He stopped a lap later than Cassidy in the pit stop phase. It's 2.9 seconds at the moment between the drivers from first to second. Mansell needs to stick with MDJ in this fight. So if any chance at all of MDJ goes up to Cassidy, then Mansell is ready to pounce on that Mina compound tyre. But as you can probably find out, the MDJ is not messing around here. He's 8/10 of a second already on the Aston Martin. It's crucial for Mansell now to stick in that DRS of MDJ's Williams, but that Williams driver has got so much grip underneath him, and he's got all the confidence in the world to push that Williams as hard as he can possibly dare around the Belgian circuit. It's now touching around 1 second. Mansell outside DRS. That's going to give Adams a chance to have a go at the Aston Martin. So Mansell in a world of trouble here. It looks like he's going to be losing third place to Adams if the gap's not big enough to hold on for an extra lap, which it isn't. So Mansell holds on to third place for another lap. 1.8 seconds between MDJ and Cassidy. So MDJ looks like he's going to win in the Grand Prix. But is Mansell close enough to get second, I wonder? That's another question as well. Is Mansell close enough? Let's have a look at the gap. From the leader, it's not. It's 3.2. So Mansell is out of it at the moment. He's got to get closer to MDJ, but that's easier said than done, really, because MDJ is a really talented, fast driver. Look at Martin. Martin closing in now on Adams. So Adams in trouble again with the RB of Martin. I told you he's going to make his life a living hell. He's going to give Mansell a chance to get away now from this fight, and hopefully settle down and go catch either MDJ, because his tyres going to go to lap 7 on his stint. Mansell's tyres at the end is going to be on 12 laps, so Cassidy's tyres will be on 8 laps again to his stint. So it's touch and go really for the tyres. Is the softs are dying, I wonder, because is Mansell going to drive? He's going to push hard now, because look at this. As you can see, Adams is closing rapidly again on Mansell. This is a battle for possibly third, because we don't know, because the gap right now is not big enough between Cassidy. It's big enough for Cassidy to stay in second place. Adams still sticks behind the Aston Martin of Mansell. Mansell holding on for a podium here, only just here. MDJ is playing a smart game, using the penalties to find his fate. He's not going to push on now for the rest of this race. So the rest of the race now is this battle for third between Adams and Mansell. The Aston Martin versus the McLaren, where Martin's just hovering, watching on with a bit of popcorn on him. He can actually lose a place to Burmeister in 6th, actually. He's going to lose a place to Burmeister. I don't know about Alice Scopo yet, but I think that might be a chance. Actually, that's not, scrap that one. He's got a time penalty. So Burmeister is going to be overtaking Martin here. He's 1.9 behind. As Martin actually is going to try and not do that, actually. He's going to take on Adams for 4th place here as Martin gets past Adams. That's going to help out Mansell a bit. I don't think MDJ wants to win on merit here, because he's now 1.0 behind Cassidy. 1.0 is the gap. So it looks like MDJ has decided to push. Mansell is going to be overtaken here by Martin. So MDJ has to go to the DRS. He does, but he's only doing it to close the gap, because Martin on the back of Mansell. Mansell is not really going to fight this match, because his battle is with Peace. So I'm looking at unforced error there for Martin. It's going to slow down Mansell. He doesn't really mind that because he's battling for third place here is Mansell. MDJ closing slowly on Cassidy. But it is MDJ to win the race because he will be the victor on penalties. It's going to be from MDJ, from Cassidy, then to Mansell. That's the provisional pony spots for the moment. Unless Cassidy, well, Mansell does something silly here and overtake Martin, which it looks like he isn't. But you have to be aware of Adams. Adams is right there with him. As Mansell just a little bit squirrely there on the exit of the corner. So we're going over to Cassidy. We're going to try to keep on this fight as long as we can because Cassidy is about to cross the line any moment as Cassidy now towards the final corner. It'll be MDJ to win the Grand Prix for the Belgian Grand Prix. He wins the race. Mansell will get a fantastic third ahead of Adams, and Burmeister will finish fifth. Martin down with his sixth. Martin is going to finish seventh ahead of Atlas Scopo. Matt G in ninth place, and Sonic Hawk rounds out the top 10. Very, very good racing here from all of the drivers. Well done to all of them. They'll be very happy with their races. There'll be a few scraps here and there, but they'll be satisfied for a very good entertaining race they had on for us tonight. Now it's going to invite the drivers for their interviews. So, there's the fun part. Right. Let's have a look what I got down here. Him. MDJ. There's MDJ. I think it's this. No, it's this one. And Cassidy. So we need to find Cassidy. I was just waiting for Calvin to cross the line, which he has. And there we go. MDJ is the victor of the Grand Prix. Congratulations to him. So, here we go. Here's the final order. MDJ to Cassidy to Mansell to Adams to Burmeister, Daniel, Martin, Scopo, Maggi, Sonic Hawk, Keith, Emil's Kusa, Zenon to Calvin, Ronnie, MCFC, and Yarum. As we got Mr. Owen Mansell in for his interview. I think it's your first one of the season, I think. Your second one, there you go. As you can probably hear, my fiance playing music. So, we only got you tonight because obviously Cassidy and MTJ is not going to join us, so So it's going to be just you for a private interview today, then, Owen. So, in terms of your race, you had a very scary moment at the beginning of the race, actually, and you managed to hold on to it very, very well in a five-car battle, and you actually made the strategy work, going up into third place. How was it tonight? It looked pretty sketchy out there. So you starting the soft tire was really interesting because I would have thought you would have gone for a medium to hard or a hard to medium. How come you went for a very good aggressive strategy today? And with Adams catching you rapidly at the end, and were you quite pressurized with M behind trying to take away your third place away? Or did you think about the guys in front with, MDJ trying to close to the Cassidy? Were you hoping those two were going to fight to the end, it's going to close the gap on the two of them, or you're more focusing on Adams behind? Oh, that's good to hear. So what really made the race for you today, Owen? In that race, what really made it for you? Was it the second? Was it that second stint that really made your race tonight? So what's the motivation now going forward now for the rest of the season? Is it going to try and get good results for the team, or are you going to try and snatch a win at this point in the season, or are you going to try and collect good points for the team? What will be your main goals for the rest of the season? And what about Melbourne coming up? Are you got high hopes for Melbourne? I know you haven't done any practice there yet, but what is your high hopes for Melbourne coming up next? So I know it's been quite hot here in England, and I know us drivers, we work a lot in the sim with the PlayStation and TV at high temperatures. Was it really hot today? In you behind the wheel of the TV, and then of course the PlayStation is heating up. Was it hard work today in the summer heat tonight? I can hear it going through my ears. It sounds pretty refreshing. Oh, fantastic. Well done on your third place, Owen, and congratulations. And hopefully you do well in Melbourne, because you had a tough start to the season, but it looks like it is turning around for you come towards into Melbourne. So hopefully that motivation gets you to Melbourne, hopefully gets you another good result. Well done. And that'll be end of the stream. I hope you guys enjoy it. Join us for Division 1 tomorrow, where I'll be racing for the first time this season, along with my good pal Smoke and all the rest of the Division 1 guys. And Owen Mansell will be going from this Aston Martin to the comms box with Jamie, which I'm looking forward to be hearing after the race. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good one tonight, and see you all tomorrow.